Welcome to Armchair Gaffers. Today we're doing something slightly different. It's a reaction to the weekend's results. You're here with myself, Jess, Scorch, and SB. No Dan this week, but hopefully we can hold it down in his absence. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to cover all the weekend's fixtures, starting in reverse order. So the fixture we're going to look at first is the most recent one, which just finished about 10 minutes ago. That was Spurs against Brighton. Scorch, I'll let you take this one away.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I got to be honest straight away, right off the bat. Spurs were lucky. But
honestly.
No, I got, here at the Gaffers, we speak honestly. We was lucky, to be honest with you, but Brighton played way better football than Spurs without really troubling Lloris, though. That's the key thing. They scored a goal, and I'm trying to work out what it is with VAR, yeah, because VAR has clearly seen that the refs missed a foul in the build-up to the goal. So instead of just overruling the ref, VAR saying you need to go and check it out. But the very fact that you're saying he needs to check it out is because you know it's a foul.
Something's wrong, isn't it?
So what are we doing? But anyway, I'm a person. I probably think like throughout the season, some of these things are going to go for you, some's going to go against you. It's just how it goes. But then, so at 1-1, it looked like Brighton might like they might do it, to be honest. But then, woof, Gareth Bale and Reguilon just linked up. It was one of the few moments of real quality for Tottenham in the game. A long diagonal ball from Alderweireld. Reminiscent to like some of those long balls that he used to do to Ali, but this time it was in the channel to Reguilon, and he cut in on his right foot, which I thought, as soon as he done it, I thought, missed the chance, left-footed player, and he whipped a ball. He dug one out off the swinger. Lo and behold, Gareth Bale just come on, and everyone was kind of thinking to themselves, "Raw, Spurs are chasing the game, still no Gareth Bale." He's brought him on and then he's tucked away a header and then the boys saw it out. So it was a very Jose performance when I think about it. But
points.
Scorch, yeah, from the outside looking in, I would say that you lot's key player is Sissoko. What's your thoughts on that?
Sissoko provides so much balance to problems that you might face. It's getting a bit on top and the boys can't play. He's your outlet because he's going to get on the ball and travel with it. He fills in covering the right back. I can kind of see where you're going with that. He's one of those players that usually fans of other teams don't really appreciate.
Yeah.
But when he plays for your team, you realise what's missing when he's not playing.
But for you as a Spurs fan, who would you say has been your key performer so far this season? Or maybe even your dark horse?
If you're going to go dark horse, I'd probably say Serge Aurier. He's been excellent in every game he's played, strangely, which is...
Impossible. Are you sure?
Form. However, though, this is form. We understand this is form. I'll tell you one thing, though, interesting fact, and it shouldn't really be an interesting fact, but I feel like no one's really talking about it. Spurs go up to second in the league now.
That's what I was going to ask you. Second in the league. What's the points difference behind you and Liverpool?
I think it's 2 points. I think they've got 16 and we're on 14, I think.
That's 30 days. 70 days.
I feel like Chelsea... Is it maybe Chelsea? I feel like Chelsea might be able to go... No, Leicester. Leicester can go ahead of us. They've got a game in hand. And I feel like Chelsea might have a game in hand as well. I'm not certain, though.
Do you dare to dream of the Champions League once again? Or maybe even bigger?
Yeah, I dare to dream of the Champions League only because I look at the league and I just think the league is it's totally wide open. Because performance-wise, if you were to tell me just going off the performances, say you just saw highlights of games where you didn't see who actually scored. You just saw highlights of games. Performance-wise, I would never tell you Liverpool look like the best team in the league. They've like conceded the most goals. When I look at Tottenham, I definitely don't feel like I'm seeing the second best team in the league. So when I look at Southampton, I don't feel like I'm seeing a Champions League team. Yeah. So I feel like, and we love Ralph Hasenhüttl here. Let that be known here at the Gaffers. We like Ralph.
We love him. We love him. He's one of us. Welcome on
one of us.
Anytime.
But though, with that said, though, I think the inconsistencies throughout the league, it's like it really might come down to like who can get the majority of their starting 11 out for the majority of the games. I know that sounds simple, but I feel like that's going to be even more of a thing this season than ever before.
Good point, good point. We'll leave it there with regards to Tottenham. We're going to go straight on to the next game, which was United versus Arsenal. And for this one, I want to get your take, SB. Let's go.
Depression. This is what's going on right now with United. We need to get Oli out of this club right now. Right now, we need to get this guy out of this club. This clown is absolute clown. Do you know how many clowns of managers we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson has left and Arsenal still hasn't come to Old Trafford and got a W? 14 years. 14 years.
This was actually one of the few games I watched this weekend, and it just highlighted what I've been saying for a very long time. United are a counter-attacking team. If you come to United to play, they will take you apart, like what happened against PSG and what happened against RB Leipzig. But when you sit back and defend, United really don't have many answers for the questions you pose, and that was highlighted today.
The tactics is
Can I just cut in though? I hear what you're saying, but I'll be honest with you. I saw Arsenal pressing today.
Pressing. They were pressing us.
I thought, wow, is this a direct reflection of Thomas Partey, who for me, he absolutely ran the show, and low key shout out to El Nene, looking like
This is what life has come to. We're letting El Nene dictate games at Old Trafford. Whilst we have 4 centre midfielders playing on the pitch, it's pathetic. It's actually pathetic. Not only that, we have a horrible first half, terrible first half. Second half's come now, 15 minutes in. You think, all right, cool, make some changes. The first change Ole Gunnar makes is Matic for Fred. For Fred. Not McTominay, Matic for Fred. And we're going to hear the scapegoats try and blame Pogba. Oh, it was Pogba's fault. Pogba's playing left wing. Pogba doesn't know where he's playing on the pitch. He has no role. There's no sense of... Where's his sense of purpose in the team? He doesn't even know what he's doing in the team. But we're going to keep McTominay on, and we're going to bring on Matic for Fred. That's what we're going to do to win the game. That's what we're going to do.
So, SB, from a United perspective, where do you guys go from here? How do you improve?
The only improvement I see is if we change the manager, because how long's he been here? Been manager now? It's been about 18 months now, nearly coming up to 2 years.
It's been very, very close to 2 years.
It's the same thing as well. We're just in the same boat, the same position that we was in when he first came, when he was halfway here, and now we're just in the same. So unless we change the manager, it's just going to get the same results, inconsistencies.
Can I say something, Jess?
Yeah.
I looked at the game today, and I felt like the system wasn't necessarily wrong. I felt like the personnel was wrong.
I disagree completely.
Why is that?
I just felt like if he juggled the right, I didn't understand. For me, the main issue was Fred and McTominay.
Yeah,
I don't understand because essentially what you're asking, like, you can get caught in between two stools with Pogba and McTominay, to where neither of them actually kind of knew. Well, Pogba knew what he was doing, but neither of them were able to offer enough of the balance that was needed in the midfield.
Literally.
It was like a kind of blur of roles in the midfield, and I feel like I don't want to sound disrespectful, but maybe a player like McTominay maybe isn't. I'll use the word. Maybe he's not experienced enough to be trusted to do things on the fly, maybe, and needs like more specific roles.
He needs guidance.
See, now I think with the right manager, that same United team would have actually beat Arsenal.
It wasn't a bad team.
But they don't have the right manager, so
They haven't got the right manager. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Because player for player, when you look at the lineups, it wasn't a bad United team. You can't complain about the lineup.
I'm pretty sure that's the same United lineup that he's played, or the same system, that diamond that he's played for the past 3 games: Newcastle, PSG, and Leipzig, and it worked then, but it didn't work today. So I just think it's a matter of the manager getting the best out of the players as opposed to the players not being good enough.
There definitely is an element of Gabriel had a crazy game, and Partey had a crazy, like those 2 people had exceptional.
Arsenal won their first 3 games this season, lost the next 3, won the 7th. Yeah, the common denominator, Rob Holding. When he plays, they don't lose. In fact, when he plays, they win.
Rob Holding made a foul in the game at one point. It was near the halfway line, yeah, and like Man U were on the break, and he made a foul, and I looked at him. Yeah, I looked at him. He took his yellow card, and I looked at his hairline, and it was receding, and I was like, for a young man, you're moving wiser than your years. Like, it was something to do with where it was on the pitch, the way he broke it down. His hairline was receding, but he still got hair. Like, I was like, that's mature. You can win stuff.
One thing.
Lovely. Before we move on,
Arsenal improved.
What was that?
Sorry, Jess. Have Arsenal improved, or was Man United just poor today?
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, did Arsenal win or did United lose? And if you ask me, I would say Arsenal won. And I say Arsenal won that game.
I say you lot lost to Leicester last week.
You know what's mad, yeah? At this point here, after this many games, Unai Emery had better stats than Arteta. But one thing I would say is, though, when you look at that performance from Arsenal today, if they can recreate that, something's starting to happen. By the way, as well, I think there's a certain player I feel like he's cutting through. I'm not too sure Kieran Tierney's at the required level.
What?
Definitely is.
I'm not too sure.
Definitely.
I'm not going all the way out there and saying Kieran Tierney shouldn't be at Arsenal, but I look at Tierney and I see him do a lot of passes down the line overhit by 20 yards. I'm not too sure about that.
Give the boy a chance. From that bombshell, we're going to move on to our next game, which was a 2-1 win for Newcastle at home to Everton. I would just like to say that I think Brucey has got the system at Newcastle down to a T. He's playing like 5 at the back, 3 in midfield, and playing saying Gucci Max in a free role, which is really letting us see the best of him. But more than anything, I would say that Everton really do suffer when they're missing players. Today there was no Rodriguez, there was no Richarlison, and more importantly, there was no Luca Digne. For me, Luca Digne is one of the most important players because he's the one, more often than not, that's delivering those high-quality balls that Dominic Calvert-Lewin feeds off. So for me, the missing component for Everton today in their loss was the fact that they had no Luca Digne, more importantly, than the lack of Rodriguez and the lack of Richarlison. Scorch?
Whoa. How are you going to miss out the most important player?
Jordan Pickford. They really missed JP.
So, bro, you can't. Are you going to miss out England's number 1, Jess? That's rude.
You know what? Sometimes I have lapses. And his absence probably underlined his importance to the team. You know, they really can't without him. I think this is the first game he's missed since he's signed for them.
Shocked that they lost.
You're shocked?
No, I said it's a shock that they lost when he wasn't playing.
you know what? You know what's crazy? I looked at that game, yeah, because you remember the Newcastle game before, he did something crazy, Bruce. By the way, I think Bruce is doing a really good job, a really understated job. Because he's not as glamorous as Benitez, I feel like people are really underrating the job he's doing. But he tried the same system last week, yeah, but with just playing 5 wingers. Like,
yeah.
And he clocked, I'm onto something, but that's not exactly it. And then, so he went with actually playing some real midfielders today and some real striker. And it was actually interesting. And I was going to say, Jess, I kind of disagree with you, you know? Yeah, I kind of disagree with you. Because, and just take this in, you said that Saint-Maximin, Bruce is allowing him to roam and we're seeing the best of him. And I kind of disagree. Me personally, I feel like when Saint-Maximin was like playing on the...
Gucci Maximum.
Sorry. Sant Gucci Max. Right, sorry. Yeah. When Gucci Max was playing on the left, I felt like there was a little bit more structure to his game. It was a bit more simple. And he was like winning quite a few of his duels or whatever, his take-ons and that. However, when he's trusted with the responsibility to go where he wants to try and impact the game, I feel like he makes many interesting decisions. Maybe not the best ones, but lots of interesting decisions. However, you only need him to get it right once a game, which is invariably he does.
No, you're right. It really pains me to do this, but I've got to slightly agree with you. He's kind of a player that needs a bit more structure in his life. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Before we move on, Newcastle are kind of getting a bit of depth to their squad now. They took off.
Bro, when they brought on Hayden, I was like, okay.
Well, they took off SB's favorite player, Almiron. And they brought on Ryan Fraser.
You know.
What was that?
Almiron cold.
Almiron's got ability, brother. Don't doubt Almiron.
Isn't he Santiago Munez? No, but they took off Santiago Munez and they brought on Ryan Fraser, who's a seasoned Premier League pro, and that's the kind of options they haven't really had in the past. I mean, you know, it's only Ryan Fraser, but before they would have brought off a player like Almiron and brought on a player like Obertan. So now they've got someone who can actually do a bit. So they're going in the right direction.
Yeah. I tell you what, the back, was it a back three? Five. Like the three of the back five were like, they looked kind of like there was a cross that came in, yeah, and like one of them just like they was so positive in how they attacked the ball and just cleared it. But it wasn't anything special, but it struck me as raw. They're in control, which is not something that I associate with Newcastle too.
And on that bombshell, we are going to move on to another game, which was the thriller at Villa. 4-3 win for the Saints at Aston Villa. This game, the final scoreline doesn't really do it justice. I think, again, Ralph Hasenhüttl here, he will concede goals.
Yeah. Look, we know. Look, we know this. We're not, look, at the gaffers, when we're telling you, yeah, that Ralph Hasenhüttl is an exceptional manager, he's a good manager, what we're not doing at any point is trying to trick you into thinking like he hasn't got his own shortcomings. We know he doesn't mind conceding 10 goals in one game, you know?
As long as he gets the 11.
You know? But sorry, Jess.
I lost my train of thought. Yeah, no. So Ralph Hasenhüttl, like, he's basically, if managers were boxers, he's basically Rocky Balboa. He's gonna take his licks and he's gonna give them back.
Yeah.
To take his licks, he's gonna give them back. That's why we love him. But this result 4-3. I'm pretty sure the Saints were up 4-0 at a stage.
Crazy.
And then they just said, yeah, whatever. Scorch, there was a worldie, wasn't there?
There was a couple, but Danny Ings scored a worldie, but
listen, wait. Danny Ings breaks my heart. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Just imagine when you went to Liverpool if you didn't catch that injury.
Twice.
Just imagine.
They end up not winning the league and all that.
Bro, exactly. Since the start of last season, only one player scored more goals than Danny Ings, and that's Jamie Vardy with 29 league goals to Danny Ings' 27 since the start of last season. Just saying.
Crazy. Deserves the call up.
Yeah, we had a worldie from who was it, Scorch?
Boy, Jack Grealish has scored one of the coldest goals I've seen this season. So he's on the left-hand side of the pitch in like the attacking final third, let's say. And he gets the ball and he shifts inside, and he lines up his body for the big wrap towards the far corner, like the Coutinho kind of special.
The wrap.
And what he does is at the final moment, he closes it a bit and gives the goalkeeper the eyes and goes near post. And he gives the goalie so much eyes. The goalie's right by it. He's actually right by the ball, but the balance ways is offset. But he's actually been done absolutely with the eyes. But for me, that's one part about it. There's still the technique required to beat the GK at the near post. Great goal. To be honest, the goal was good enough. Like it was good enough to where you think, right, you score a goal like that and you start to come back from 4 goals down. Kind of maybe look like Villa could have deserved a little bit more from the game, to be honest. Big up Ollie Watkins as well, still proving us wrong.
Big up Ollie Watkins, still proving us wrong. One player as well who caught my eye in that game is someone who I slander a lot of players, okay? That's what I do in my spare time. And this player did come in for a lot of slander from me. But he's formed a partnership in midfield with James Ward-Prowse. He goes by the name of Oriol Romeu. Now, this guy, he's starting to make me think that he's actually got a future in the Premier League as a big-time player. He keeps it ticking over. Now, I don't know if it's a case of the system works for him or if he's really coming through, because he is from the famed La Masia. So he has been around the steam company growing up. And I think maybe he's been finally given a good run with a manager and a system that works for him. But early one to watch for me is Oriol Romeu, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just an armchair gaffer. Anything to add?
No. I
would have. Ward-Prowse though is one of the techiest ever. That's it.
Woo! Yeah.
From a dead ball, he's one of the deadliest from a dead ball.
Yeah, I feel a bit guilty now because we didn't include him in our best double barrel players' names. Maybe we should have thought about that.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh, JWP, that's this.
JWP, yeah. Maybe next time. Cool. Let's move on. Next game we're going to talk about was a tense game at Anfield, which Liverpool managed to win 2-1 against West Ham. SB, any thoughts on this game?
Jota's pushing for that starting 11 now,
Ooh! Do you mind if I chime in?
You chime in. I don't mind.
Basically, for a long time, guys, I was saying that Liverpool can't sign another forward because you can't displace Salah, Mane or Firmino. It's just not going to happen. I mean, you kind of saw it with they signed Minamino, not really a big player, but he's not going to get in there. They had Divock Origi always in the team. He's never really going to be a starter. And to a lesser degree, you even had Jordan Shaqiri, who's not really a forward, but he can fill that role. But again, none of these players had the quality to really push their front three for a starting spot. Now, Diego Jota, on the other hand, he's someone I look at, and I think he actually fits in seamlessly. He gets into the squad and he's bedding in like he's been there for a very long time. And on top of that, he's got end product. I mean, what more do you want?
Wait. Jess, are you gonna do this?
I'm doing it. Whatever it is, I'm doing it. What am I doing?
Jess, are you gonna do this?
What have I done now?
When we found out Liverpool, we're in for Jota, and I said cold. What did you say?
I don't recall.
Hey, Gaffers, this is what I have to put up with, yeah? See me, sometimes I hold my hands up. I hold my hands up sometimes. Lamptey, just cool, yeah? He shouted that, yeah? When I said to Jess, Jota to Liverpool, what a move, great business. I'm not going to tell you what Jess said, but just promise you, Jess did not say what he just said just now.
Wait, hold on. I just clearly said, I was skeptical about Liverpool signing a forward because I was saying, how was he going to get in the team? Yeah? So, and furthermore, secondly, hold on top of all of that, listen.
Sit the yak.
You're not going to slander my name on Armchair Gaffers, all right? I worked too hard for this. Nah, I wasn't keen. I weren't keen. Let's leave it there. What did I say, Scorch? Did you recall what I said?
No, it wasn't like nothing bad, but it was just like not really seeing how it could. Remember, there was a lot. It was like, what could Liverpool realistically do to improve the team?
Yeah.
Jota do that, and I was like, I think he's a good sub. Can I just do a shout out as well? Jordan Shaqiri for that through ball. Woo!
It was tasty. Ooh. And I want to do one last shout out before we move on. And this shout out goes to you, SB, because your boy Arthur Matsuwaki had another blinding game. That guy is cold. So, yeah. So good shout there, guys. We're going to speed this up. Oh, by the way, guys, West Ham's last 4 games, they played Leicester, Spurs, City, and Liverpool. In those 4 games, they've only got 1 loss. Yeah. And they've got a goal difference of +2. So just keep an eye on the Hams, guys.
It's going to be interesting, though, just to see if West Ham can get as up for it when they buck like some of the traditionally smaller teams. Because I feel like West Ham are one of those teams. Sorry, say that again, SB?
Sorry, Squish, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I said they just love fucking up man shit, West Ham. That's all they've been known for in their life.
That's all they do. They're just here. Like West Ham, they're not here to win anything. They're not here to buy anything. They're just here to fuck up your shit. That's it.
Next game we're going to look at was a game at Turf Moor, and it was a 3-0 win for Chelsea. Quickly, I wouldn't expect any less from Chelsea. The big boys came out and scored. Werner got 1. Zia got 1 and Zuma got a header.
What a header.
A header.
LeBron James.
It was a slam dunk alley-oop of a header. So, yeah, cool. But what I would like to highlight is Tammy Abraham. Didn't score, but what I love about the boy is that he's one of those strikers. He's very unselfish, and he brings his teammates into play as well. And a lot of goals are scored because of him. He may not get the assist, but he's got a big hand in a lot of goals. So I just want to big up Tammy Abraham because he's doing all the right things on and off the ball, in my opinion.
Do you know what I'm wondering? Yeah, I'm wondering if results like this against smaller teams could be one of the things that hold Chelsea back from fixing some of their issues. Because a 3-0 against Burnley can lead man, because the quality of players that they've got is so high against teams like Burnley, you're going to get those kind of results. That's not to say like a 3-0 at Burnley is a simple thing. Spurs, we struggled. We scored from a set piece, 1-0. But I do feel like those kind of results can maybe lead to a slight false sense of confidence, potentially.
I kind of agree with you because it's kind of like what happened to United You know, they beat a below par Leipzig. They beat
Oh, just come
Newcastle.
on, Jess.
Just saying, no, I kind of see where Scorch is coming from.
SP's in a bad place. Next topic.
Let's leave that one for
Yeah.
now. Next game was the game which featured Sheffield United versus City. It was a 1-0 win to City. Goal came courtesy of about 20 yards from Kyle Walker against his former club.
Correct.
City, I think, have only scored about 9 goals this season. Now, some people would say that that's because no Jesus, no Aguero for large parts. But if you ask me, I would say that they are missing the original Mr. Deliveroo, and that's Leroy Sané, the man that puts it on the plate, table service. I think that's the main man they're missing. He's the man that's up so many of Aguero and Jesus and Sterling's goals. And without him, despite all the creativity in midfield, that final ball would usually come from him, from the left flank, across the box, tapping for Sterling. So I think that's where they need to find a replacement.
One thing, yeah, quickly, sorry. What has happened to City's press?
Fernandinho.
Nah, it's
That's
not.
that's what I think one of their biggest problems is now, is that they don't press like they used to press.
Do you know what, SB? When I look at what's going on with their pressing situation, it's very, very reminiscent of teams that have had the same gaffer for X amount of years.
Yeah.
And it's like that's one of the first things to go, the press.
Yeah. And Pep does stay at teams for 3 years, isn't it? 3 or 4 years max.
3 to
He has to
4.
leave.
I tell you what though, when you speak about Sane, for me, it's Sane's movement and directness. I feel like that's one thing that maybe Ferran Torres has a bit of it, but none of their other attacking players are as direct. Like Sane would make direct runs to receive the ball for a goal scoring opportunity or a first time delivery, or he would pick up the ball and travel with it directly. Like Raheem Sterling has like a different style. He's a rotator, a sharp turner, a twist and turn in a circle and maybe be a bit stronger than somebody would expect him to be. Leroy Sané is jink, touch it at his feet. Let me show you how fast I am. Bye. Or I'm beating this offside trap and I'm squaring it first time, maybe on the half volley, and it's gonna be with mad tech.
That's
like,
it.
And I feel like they're missing a bit of that dynamism. But another thing also is, it's a crazy thing to say, but I do genuinely think Phil Foden could be the heir to David Silva, and not Bernardo
It's
Silva.
not crazy. Those are what you call backs.
Don't you think Bernardo Silva's getting a bit
Lost
in midfield a bit? Don't you think, SB?
Yeah, the last, I think, 6 to 8, since he had that racist little thing he had with Mendy, that little thing there, since he had that, he's been non-existent since he looks like he's been crying, like.
Yeah. All right, guys, quickly, last one, let's try and breeze through it. It was the 2-0 win for Wolves at Crystal Palace. Okay?
My boy.
You got to go to SB.
My boy.
The boy. Talk to us, SB.
My boy. Since I told you guys about Daniel Pedence, what's been happening? You guys have been seeing week in, week out on Match of the Day, Daniel Pedence doing that. You have goals and assists.
Yeah. I think Pedence might be. No, I'm going to disagree. Pedence isn't the key to Wolves' success. The key to their success is the omission of Adama Traore. He stifles the team. When he's not there, guys, I've got the stats in front of me now.
No, Jess, do you know what's crazy? I don't think you're mad, because when I think about it briefly, I feel like when Traore's not playing, the focus has been on Pedence, yeah?
Yeah.
And Pedence doesn't limit himself to one set of ideas. He just goes where the game. It's like Traore's got the special moves, and that's it.
Well, put it like this. The first 3 games of the season, Traore started them. Wolves lost all those games. The last 4 games, Traore hadn't started. They've won 3, lost 1. I'm just saying, guys.
You know what as well, though? Like, when SB
Oh,
was telling me about Potencia and I was checking him out, like I could see like this guy, like he's got quality. Yeah, I could see that. But I didn't think he had dictation. That's a different thing.
Quick question. Do you think that Wolves will, at some stage in the season, miss Jota?
No, because I think Neto has made the step up. I was looking at him last season and wondering, but I think with the emergence of Podence plus Neto, I think they should be all right. I don't feel like they rely on Traore for goals anyway, so I think I'll tell you what is a little bit concerning for me is Neves isn't having the same impact on games that he used to.
yeah.
That
I
is a
was
bit
just,
concerning.
I've been
That's
thinking
more.
that too.
Yeah, I did notice that. I have noticed that him and Dendonka are working good together, but he's not having those standalone clutch moments that he was having when he first came. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely noticing Dendonka a lot more.
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah.
Dendonka shooting from far and hitting the crossbar, whereas I imagine that to be Neves. But I don't know, he's got long hair now. I don't know.
How about a word on Crystal Palace?
Safety.
Like, why are we going to talk about Crystal Palace? Because we know at the end of the season, we're going to be stuck with them for another year.
We're
Yep.
stuck with them. They're not going down.
What I will say is, Zaha, after putting up one of his worst seasons, he does look like he's intent on putting that behind him, man. He looks like he's fired. Like I'm not particularly like a massive fan of Zaha and I think the reason might be an unfair one because I think maybe because I've seen Zaha playing at such a level. Like I remember Crystal Palace versus Watford playoff final. Zaha was unplayable, and I think because I've seen that, it's like that's what I want from Zaha. I don't want like every game I'm watching him going chest to chest with somebody and being outraged because he's been fouled, like, and bringing all. I don't need that. Like, I just want you to get back to being sick at football.
Question to
Look,
the both of you. If Zaha was to nick a move now, where does he go? Let's just say in a perfect world where he can go anywhere. What's his level?
Arsenal.
United.
So mid-table, basically.
Got to be in Europa League, bare minimum. Like,
Bare
if you can, the reason why we can comfortably say that, if Arsenal can have Pepe and United can have James,
Yep.
and
Why
they
not some?
both get game time.
Yep.
No, good shout. I kind of think that he's missed his chance. I don't think
Yeah, it's gone.
It's
yeah.
gone.
I think now the kind of team that's gonna go in for him. I mean, I don't think he's even in Everton's bracket anymore. Everton are signing exotic name brand players, Richarlison, James. There's even been talk of
Isco.
Francisco. Yeah,
Yeah.
Isco. Yeah. So I think he's missed that Everton boat. So I think he's looking like a Newcastle West Hammy kind of move. Do you know what I mean? If it happens, if they can
Too
stump
much
up.
P for West Ham.
Much
Pardon me?
money.
Too much P for West Ham.
Yeah, that's the other issue. He's got that big price tag.
The problem is that they set the precedent by refusing the ATMs. So what do we do now?
They didn't
Like,
refuse ATMs. They demanded ATMs.
no, I think they refused ATMs.
They bidded a big amount, didn't they, Everton?
Yeah, bro, it was mad. Jess, I'll tell you what. We're not gonna lie to the people.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. We'll check it out. But I do know they did turn down a good offer, a substantial offer for Zaha.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, off the cuff. This wasn't planned, but let's go through and name the player of the week in each position. So, goalkeeper, who are we going for? Pickford?
Oh, goalie of the week. Do you know who I'm gonna give it to?
Go on.
And this is gonna be so bonkers because he actually lost. But Everton's goalkeeper. I think his name's Olsen. He was actually quite good. He was quite assured. He was honestly,
Okay, yeah.
he was actually good. He was
Okay.
actually
I was
a
thinking
good
him
bowler.
or Darlow. I like the Newcastle goalkeeper. He played all right today as well when I was watching.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna give mine to Jordan Pickford. I think the fact that he didn't kick up a fuss, turned up, sat on the bench, and was ready to come on if needed. That's top class professionalism there from JP. So I'm giving it to Jordan Pickford.
He played his natural position today.
Okay, cool. Defender of the week. I am going to go for a young guy, probably never heard of him. Plays for mid-table team. Brazilian. I think they call him Gabriel.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm going to go for Gabriel for my defender of the week.
I agree with you.
Scorch?
Clean sweep. He was two. I tell you what though, Ruben Diaz was worth a shout, but it's got to be Ruben Diaz or Vestergaard. Definitely. Nah, actually, forget that.
Yeah.
Vestergaard conceded 3 goals.
With Ruben Diaz is that he came up against Sheffield United, not against.
Yeah. Burke and them. What?
Okay.
Nah.
Okay, cool.
When Billy Sharp starts running in behind, bro, it's a tricky day up there, you know.
Okay, that's a story for another day. Billy Sharp. Yeah. SB, I'm gonna ask you first for your midfielder of the week. Now the thing is, when I say midfielder, I'm not going for these like continental types that plays like as a forward kind of wing. I'm talking about like, central mid.
I'll go for Thomas Partey this week.
Oh, that's where I was gonna go as well.
He changed my opinion. I knew he was a decent player. I knew he was a good player, but I didn't know he was so good on the ball, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go because I kind of dissed him last week. I'm gonna go for James Ward-Prowse because he scored 2 free kicks, and he's got a double-barreled name, so he wins it for me. Lastly, we're going to go for our forward/striker of the week. Scorch, I'm going to ask you first. Who do you go for?
Let me have a look at my notes. Oh, it's tough though, man.
Who are you going for?
It's out of 2 guys, but I'm going to do a mad thing. Am I going to do a mad thing? I'm going to do a mad thing. I'm going to say Callum Wilson.
I mean, how can you not say Callum Wilson? Back post tapping and a penalty. That's what you call a striker.
I'll tell you why, yeah. That goal, the first goal, was the first one the pen or was the second one the pen?
I think the second one was the pen. I can't remember.
The one where he made that run to the back post, yeah. I was like, that goal is exactly what you bought him for. Like, I always mix up the 2 of them. Which one? One of them's got Wesley, one's got Haller. Which one is? Oh no, they got them. No, sorry. They got the other one. What's the other one's name? The Brazilian.
Joelinton.
Right, they got Joelinton. You see Joelinton, he's never in a million years scoring that goal, and this is against Tottenham. But Joelinton, is never scoring that goal. And that goal, like, you see the determination, the drive to get there. Like, he's so proactive, and I just feel like that is exactly what he was brought in for.
There we go. Lovely. All right, guys. I think that wraps it up. So our players of the week were Olsen, Gabriel, Partey, and Wilson. And that wraps up our game week 7 catch-up, basically. Sorry, I'm not Dan. I can't do what Dan does, but he'll be back next time. And we'll be back to normal Armchair Gaffer stuff.
Big up Dan, wherever you are, sipping the yak.
P.O.P. Hold it down.
Hold it down. Drip or drown hole. Cool.
It's been me, Jess, SB, and Scorch. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time on Armchair Gaffers. Peace.